Good morning, UBS, and welcome to our Monday morning UBS live call, third one for this year. And I launched it off in the last couple of weeks. And this week we have had guests from the US, and wait till I tell you what will be happening next week. But there is Russell at the other end, so people on live stream can see him. People now on GoToWebinar can as well. Please send us a few hellos and hi, good morning, Francis. Nice to see you. I saw you logged on pretty much when I did. You're so good with your timing. And please, guys, asking lots of questions. This morning won't be a PowerPoint presentation. This morning I will be interviewing Russ on his expertise and knowledge of what he sort of wowed me with when we chatted last time. And I'm actually also very curious about this because he monetizes significantly and helps other people monetize their businesses through webinars to sell high-end programs, which I still haven't worked out how to do myself because as you guys know, I travel all over Australia. Speaking is my thing, events is my thing, and wow, what a way to be able to have that opportunity. Maybe when it's that 2-month lull here in Australia, Russ, we have got those 2 months where really no events are happening. So if people can knock out a few webinars and build that business to, to still maintain the revenue, that would be awesome. But before I get everything officially started and I start asking you lots of questions, let me give you guys an official introduction who Russell is. And I'll just change the slide here across. And for those of you that can't see it on Facebook Live, he's got an awesome group on Facebook called Clients on Demand, and that's his particular business. So make sure you join that. So let me give you the official introduction. So he is the founder of Clients on Demand, Russell Ruffino. They are a business coaching company that helps thought leaders, experts, coaches, and professional service providers attract the right clients at the right price anytime they want. So his average client raises their prices to earn $3,000 to $10,000 per client and uses Clients on Demand's 4-step marketing process to enroll new clients at that price with total integrity and authenticity. Clients on Demand has helped more clients get to 6 figures per month faster than any other program out there. And I think you're also living, breathing proof of that, Russ. So do you want to maybe start off telling us a little bit about your story, where you started, maybe like a 2-minute version of it?
Yeah, so I got started in kind of online marketing maybe like 6 years ago, and I was working. I was kind of doing the same things that a lot of people do, where you're like, okay, well, I have expertise that I want to monetize, so let me create some stuff to sell it, and started creating ebooks and videos and doing launches and all these things that you sort of see other people do. And what would happen was we would do like these big launches where we would sell thousands of copies of something, and it was really great and really cool. But what would happen was people would come to me and they would say, Russ, I really loved this product. It was fantastic. And I'd be like, okay, well, great. What'd you do? Have you got any results? Talk to me. What's going on? And they'd say, oh, well, yeah, it's really good, but I haven't really gotten a chance to implement it yet, but I'll get to it. I'm sure I'll get to it down the road. And so I started to realize that like we were doing these big launches and everybody loved the product, but because people were spending $97, $197, nobody would really do anything.
Mm.
And even though I was making money and people were happy, I was like, it just kind of started to bother me. I was like, well, look, what can I do to get people to actually take action? And so I thought to myself, well, what would happen if we took this whole model and just flipped it on its head? Where instead of trying to sell something at a lower ticket price and sell thousands of copies of it, where I can't really give, great support to thousands and thousands of people, I thought to myself, well, what if we charged between 3,000 and 10,000 and just worked with maybe 20, 30 clients a month? And so we gave it a shot. I shut down all my low-ticket stuff. It was a really big gamble. There was a couple months where we were dialing everything in when like I barely made any money, but it transformed everything and it really revolutionized my business. And now we have a program where almost everyone takes action. Our clients are getting phenomenal results. And what we ended up with was a really scalable, sustainable way to enroll people at a premium price without having to depend on referrals or word of mouth, or without even having to do speaking gigs or anything like that, or any of that stuff. You can just run ads on Facebook and turn them into high-paying clients. And so that's what we teach our people how to do.
So what is the, maybe give us an overview of what the 4 steps are that people go,
Sure.
take with you so that we can best understand, well, of course, there's so much depth behind your model, I'm guessing. No one's going to learn this in the 30 minutes that we have here together. But yeah, I'd love to know a bit more about.
Sure. So, right. So it's really simple. So it all starts with you, right? So our clients are people that can solve a major life or business problem. So if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're an expert, you're a thought leader, you're a therapist, even if you're a lawyer, an accountant, or you're performing some service, you're an SEO professional, you're a graphic designer, something where you've got the expertise to make a huge difference in people's lives or in people's businesses, then that's who we work with. That's where we start. So what we do is most of our clients will create an offer that delivers a certain outcome. So like if you're, I don't know, a relationship coach and you're amazing at, say, saving people's marriages, you'll come up with an offer that's designed to take your clients from where they are, which is having a terrible marriage, nothing's working, it's a mess, to actually being back in love and everything is great. And that could be anything from a 3-day event to an 8-week workshop that's all online, or pretty much whatever you want. But we'll take that and we'll price that at between $3,000 and $10,000. Okay, so that's where we start. That's what we're selling.
Yeah.
Now the process for selling it is really, really simple. We run ads on Facebook and other social media sites, so Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever, but mostly Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And we send those people to a registration page for our webinar. They register, they watch the webinar, and then at the end of the webinar, we make a really, really soft offer to book a call to talk to us about becoming a client. And that's it. And every day, once you have this dialed in, you can have 5 people a day, 10 people a day, 15, 25 people a day reaching out to work with you. And then all you have to do is speak to them on the phone, decide who you want to enroll and who you don't, and then enroll the ones that you want.
Yeah.
And so what you end up with is a really simple, it's not easy, but it is simple, a really simple, really scalable model where every day you are enrolling people at between a $3,000 and $10,000 price point. So when we talk about, scaling your business to like the $100,000 a month mark, it seems like a crazy number, right? I mean, it seemed crazy to me. But if you think about it, if you've got a $5,000 offer, that's 20 people.
Yeah.
That's like one person every other day. And if you can speak to 4 or 5 people and enroll one of them, then you don't really need to have that many conversations before you hit that mark. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So what would be your expectation? I'm always like lately into conversion rates and all that sort of stuff. I actually sat down over the weekend and did my whole conversions for last year's events and how many people were physically in the room and all that sort of stuff. I'm curious about that, so I'm going to ask questions I'm curious about. Unless other guys have questions, please post them up and I'll pass them on to Russ to answer. So what would be, say you get 100 people, just to keep the numbers simple, on a webinar, the expectation is to get them to take the next step to the call, and then out of the calls that you have, what would be the expectation of, I know it varies depending on people's ability to sell, their system and all that sort of stuff. What would you say the average is?
Right. No, I can give you exact numbers actually. Sure. What we always shoot for, and what we shoot for with our clients and what we shoot for with our business, is we want about 20 to 25%. I'll take you through the whole funnel, right? So the first step is people click on your ad. Now, when someone clicks your ad, we want about 20 to 25% of those people to register for the webinar.
Right.
Okay? Then of the people who register, we want about 70% of those people to actually show up.
Yes.
And then of the people who attend, we want 20 to 25%. So to answer your question, if we have 100 people on the webinar, we want like 20, 25 people reaching out to talk to us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll look at all those applications. We usually filter out like 20, 25% that are just not a fit. And then we'll end up speaking to whoever's left, and then we probably won't even make an offer to another 20, 25%, again, because they're not a fit. We just want to make sure that we're working with people we know for sure we can help.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, it costs us around $100 to get someone on the phone, or to get an appointment booked.
Yes.
And then we will enroll about 1 in 5, 1 in 6 people that we speak to, depending on who's on the phone. My best salespeople will do like 1 in 4. If I'm doing the calls, and I don't even do the calls myself anymore, but if I'm doing the calls, it's more like 1 in 2. But like my best salespeople will do 1 in 3, 1 in 4.
Yeah, awesome.
So just to give you an idea of how it all shakes out, in December, we spent about $50,000 on Facebook ads.
Yep.
and we brought in about $560,500 in revenue
Yeah.
in December.
Yeah. So yeah, I get that. I was doing I do Facebook ads for my live events, and a similar thing. You kind of work out what it costs you to get a client. So
Hmm.
our $19,000 program is about $1,000. In
Great.
Yeah, yeah. So that's very important. What this tells you guys is you got to know your numbers, because to
Hmm.
scale to this level, you need to kind of go, well, you got to invest, but yeah, also, and of course, that behind all of this, Russell, with your program and how you educate people on how to do this for themselves, you would have obviously systems and processes and how to create your presentation and all that sort of stuff. Do you want to
Yeah,
jump?
so what we do at Clients on Demand is we walk people through each part of that. So everything from just figuring out what your offer is in the first place and who you want to work with and how you want to structure it and what you want to price it at, and then going into, okay, well, how do you do each piece of this? How do you do the Facebook ads? How do you do the registration page? How do you do the webinar? And then we have a whole system for each one of those things. And then how do you do the phone call? So
Yeah.
we've got a process dialed in for each step. So I like to say it's simple, but it's not easy. You
No.
know, it's only 4 steps. Like, it's not that complicated, but there, like you said at the beginning, there's tremendous depth to doing each piece of it right. And the better you get at each piece, the more money that you make.
Yeah, I completely get that. So someone's just saying about the sound. The sound usually is pretty good at our end, but guys, if you're getting in trouble, it's most likely internet, because I'll get a warning. Okay, I think everyone's just enthralled and listening as to what you're saying. And for some of you, for some of our community, they're fairly new and starting out. So tell me actually about your system. Who is it ideal for? Like, I can see this working awesomely for what I do.
Hmm.
Even though I haven't tested, and the reason I haven't tested it is because I don't have that exact system. As you say, I don't want to muck around with
Hmm.
30, $50,000, which,
Right.
I can invest, but I want to kind of guarantee. So tell me about the newbie people, because our community is a mixture of both.
Sure, yeah. Well, again, this doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't work, but it's just not designed for someone who's selling like accordion lessons. Or if you do, like if you do multi-level marketing and you've got like an amazing seaweed wrap that's $8, it's very tough to sell something like that using Facebook ads and to make this kind of money. So it really is for people that can solve a major life or business problem.
Mm.
But that could be anyone from a fitness coach to a nutrition coach to a relationship coach. I mean, we have clients in spiritual development. We have one gal whose background is in Kundalini yoga. She's selling a $9,000 program, and she's doing it really, really successfully. So as long as someone can come to you, a client can come to you and work with you for maybe 8 weeks or whatever it is, and at the end of the 8 weeks, their life or their business looks dramatically different, then I believe you can have this kind of a high ticket offer.
Yeah, awesome. And what about the stage the business is in? Say it is a person who's solving exactly that problem. What stage could you start at? Could a startup 0 to 12 months do it, as well as someone who's more
Oh,
established?
sure. Most of the people who come to us,
Yeah,
that's all they have. They just have expertise. Hey, Russ, I've been a therapist, and I'm a therapist. I work with couples. I've never done anything online before. I've never charged anything more than like $80 an hour. What do I do?
yeah, cool.
Or Russ, I've been selling, I do graphic design, or I do SEO work, or I do pay-per-click marketing, or something like that. And I'm just getting started. I've had a few clients. I've gotten really great results for them. How can I get more? So most of the people who come to us have like limited experience, a limited marketing budget. They're just really good at what they do.
Yeah,
And there's so many people out there that are amazing at what they do. They just don't know anything about marketing, or they don't have a system for getting new clients in the door. And so that's what we provide. So before, you talked about how like I'm spending $50,000 a month to make 500,000, but that's not where people start. That's not where I started. You know what I mean? So most of the people who come in the program, they're just like, I want to get to $10,000 a month. That would be life changing.
yeah,
And so it's like, cool, no problem. We'll show you how to build, build and then grow from there. But the cool thing about it is that the system is scalable. So like if you want to get to 20,000 a month, you're going to go Facebook ad, registration page, webinar, phone call. If you want to get to 500,000 a month, you're going to go Facebook ad, registration page, webinar, phone call. So the system's like, we're not doing anything different than we teach our clients to do. So
yeah,
that's what's really cool, is like you just master the system, and then it's up to you how big you want to make it.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And I was in the same situation when I reviewed my numbers after the year last year. And I go, well, do I want to double what I'm doing, or am I happy where I'm at? Because really, if I double my spend, I'll get double the people in the room, double the clients, and all that sort of stuff. I get that perfect. Francis goes, can you please ask him if it will work for interior design services or building a forever home? So just to give you a bit of a background, Francis is one of my authors, and she's just written a book called Your Forever Home. And yeah, she's an interior designer that's got immense knowledge on, you know, what you need to know, the ins and outs, when people are building. So would something like what you do work?
It depends. It depends on a lot of things. What kind of people are you doing it for? How motivated are they to do it? How much do they need to do it? What are you charging right now? So to be honest, I think we've had one designer, no, I think we've had two or three designers come through the program, and if I remember correctly, they did really well. But it's about coming in and figuring out, okay, well, what is that positioning? Because if you're just any old interior designer, it's like if you're 5,000 and there's a guy who's $200, maybe they'd hire that person. But you've got to find that thing that makes you special and that makes you unique. And so that's part of what we do with the clients. We spend the whole first like week or two of the program just getting clear on your magic and what you do and the outcomes that you create and why that outcome is so special and why it's worth a premium price. So almost no one comes in the program and says, hey, Russ, I'm here. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what I want to charge. I know exactly who I want to work with. When we get someone like that, obviously it's fantastic, but most of the time people are scared. They don't know if they can charge a premium price. And
Mm.
as long as you're solving a life or business challenge that's significant, you can.
Mm, yeah, love it. Love it. Yeah. So Francis, you said, yeah, her niche is in on building homes. So you would need to refine it, and I completely get that. So I guess that lends into my next question: is say you get a person like Francis, and you explore all of this, and do you help them figure out how to package their high-end program?
Yeah, absolutely. So what works for most people is to do an 8-week online program.
Eight
It doesn't
weeks.
work for everybody. I mean, that's not, some people are like, Russ, I really want to be face to face with people, or I like, meeting people in person, in which case you can, so you can set this up any way that you want.
Yeah.
But what most of our clients choose to do is to do like an 8-week online program where every week you're giving them like one. So you look at it like this. Here's point A, where they are now. They have this terrible problem. They're really trying to create this outcome. Point B, they have the outcome. Okay? So you look at point A and point B, and then you ask yourself, well, how can I get them here? What are the steps along the way? And we set up an 8-week program where each week you take them a little bit of the way, and then another bit, and then another bit, and another bit. And so how you deliver that is you might say, well, every Monday in this 8-week program, I'm going to deliver some training. And I'm going to show them everything they need to get here, whether that's training or exercises or whatever it might be. I'm going to show them everything they need to get here. And then on Thursday, I'm going to pull all of my clients onto a big group Q&A call and answer all of their questions and make sure they have the support that they need and they're crystal clear on how to do this, how to apply this for them. So with Clients on Demand, just to give you an example, like there's one week where I show you our way of doing a webinar and I give it to you slide by slide. This is how you do it. This is what you say. This is what you do. And you do it. And then on the call that week, we can talk about, let's look at the webinar. What did you do? We're passing it back and forth. We're looking at it. I'm making suggestions. I'm making sure it's fantastic. And so that's the way that most people organize it, essentially. So with clients, it's just one training call and one Q&A. With Clients on Demand, we do a little more than that. We have one training module every week, and we do like 3 Q&A sessions a week with everybody. We have a help desk. We have a Facebook group. So we have a lot of support that's wrapped into it. But basically, almost any outcome can be boiled down to an 8-week program.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So you bundle it like the support and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, and people. So do you just curious because I've been very passionate. Similar when we spoke, I said to you, I don't like selling those little programs, even just my books for $30. I like
Mm-hmm.
my $19,000 author retreat because I know every single person finishes in it. Some may be slow, some might be super fast, but at the end of the day, we have got that 100% success rate, and we do these amazing group launches where we celebrate, the achievement of that. And yes, it's a significant life and business change in this case. For me, so my hesitation sometimes is with people doing stuff online. I always go, well, how do I know they're going to do the homework? Like, you know what I mean? In the background, at
Mm-hmm.
like that's been like kind of, people default, they invest in something. Is it because, can I just put it out there, is it because they have invested a significant 3 to 10 grand investment that makes them do the work? Is it that?
That's exactly right. And
Yeah.
that's exactly why we do it.
Yeah.
So that's a great question. So charging the premium price does some really cool things. Number one, like you just said, it makes people more accountable.
Yeah.
Where, look, if you're investing 10,000 or 19,000 or even 5,000 to be a part of something, you're going to show up and you're going to do the work.
Yeah.
So that's amazing because those are the people that I want to work with.
Yeah.
Number two, it allows us to work with fewer clients.
Yeah.
And so on any given month, we may enroll 40 people or something into Clients on Demand, but we can really go to bat for those 40 people and give them just an incredible level of result. Whereas you see people, that are doing the big launch thing, and they'll have their $2,000 program or whatever, but they'll sell like 3,000 copies of it or something crazy like that. And it's just like, how are you ever going to give proper support, like real support, to get people results to 3,000 people? It's just not humanly possible.
No.
So with this, it's more like, instead of doing a big launch and trying to enroll all these people and then going crazy trying to serve them, it's like, let's just enroll, like, you decide 50 people a month at 10,000, you got a $500,000 a month business, and now we can really go to bat for those 50 people and do everything we can to get them results.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about that too is that when you first come in and you first kind of launch this,
Yeah.
you just create like version 1.0 of your program.
Yeah.
You just create like your version of what you think it should be. And then as you're going through the program and you realize, well, my clients need a little more of this, my clients need a little less of this, you can adjust.
Yeah.
And we've like Clients on Demand, we first rolled that workshop out, I think 3 years ago now. And we've refined it and redone it and taken away some things and added some other things and streamlined it. But that's what's great about it, is it's this constantly evolving program as we get better and better and better at getting people results. And so that's what would happen with you too.
Yeah. I mean, I started out my program, I think, at the $8,000 level and went up to 19 because I added so much more value and I refined it, and now 14 retreats later, I get that. And yes, the commitment or financial commitment does really make people follow through. Living, breathing proof of that. So I love it. Oh my God. So it sounds really exciting, and I've never come across someone like what you do, which is quite rare. And yes, we've seen all the launch kind of stuff, but it's really cool, So tell us a little bit about, I think you've got a more in-depth webinar that you
Yeah. So if people want to know more about how this works, you can check out our funnel. I mean, this is the funnel that we use to enroll people. So you're like, okay, Russ, I get it. Facebook ad, registration page, webinar. If you want to check it out, go to clientsondemand.com/webinar, and then you can go and you can check out exactly how we do this. And it explains, just a lot about the philosophy behind this and the ideas behind this, and pulls back the curtain on some of our clients who have scaled to that level. Because almost nobody who ever comes to work with us is doing more than maybe like 10 or 20,000 a month at the most when they first come to us. And then we're able to scale them to 50 and then 100 and wherever. But so we tell some of those stories, and it'll really kind of clarify a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, where you'll understand, oh, I get how this relates to me now. I get how I can do this now.
Yeah, cool. And I've posted that in the chat box of GoToWebinar, and I will do that on the live stream when we get off as well. And you go say hello over there and post that. But that's really amazing. One more question. I'm just mindful of time to make sure we get everyone out on time this week. We ran over quite a bit last week. Someone else, let's say my husband, he's in business, right? And he's in a customer service role more so now. And I get what you're saying. Like, we work with 70 to 80 authors a year, and we give it, give our focus, and like we just, we're more like, I like to say, boutique style than mass, right? So let's say a person like him, who's supporting me and more at home because he's looking after the kids and I'm traveling and doing my face-to-face stuff, which I don't want to give up. Actually, I actually really love it because
Right.
I get my energy from people. So would he be, and if other people had a secondary or a few staff in their business, could this be executed by someone else? Say I ran the webinar because I'm the face of the business and people know me, and then could other people take those calls? And does that work?
Sure. Yeah. And that's, I mean, so like that's what I do. So for example, our webinars that we do, we almost never do a live webinar. Like I'll do maybe 3 or 4 live webinars a year. Everything else is automated.
Mhm.
So those numbers I was giving you before where, 20% register and 60% show up, that's for an automated webinar. So the cool thing about that is that once you create that, you just let it go and then you can travel around and do whatever you want. That webinar is running the whole time.
Evergreen, yeah.
And you don't have to be the one to do the calls either. You can have a team doing them, and that can be your husband. I'd recommend in the beginning that you do some yourself
Yeah.
just so you get, the experience under your belt. But eventually, you should hand that off to someone else, which is what we do. I have a fantastic team of 4 people, and they're just amazing, and it's a great opportunity for them. I mean, they're making, I think, most of them are making between 10 and 15,000 a month doing those calls, and so it's a great opportunity for them, and it sets me free to focus on serving the clients, which is what I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, yep, I get that because there's only so much of you. Even at 40 clients a month, you want to give their focus and not be bogged down by phone calls and all of that. That part of the business, which is because I'm in a sales and marketing role in our business, he does the nurturing and the customer service and all that kind of stuff. So and we've got the virtual assistants. Our team is growing it.
Sure. And I imagine you and I are like similar. Like I don't want to do Facebook ads. I don't want to sit there and do like all the little numbers and all the little click through. You know what I mean? There's like certain things that you don't want to do. So the cool thing about this is it's a really simple system that brings in clients, but any part of it that you want to delegate to other people, you can. And so it's like maybe if you love to do Facebook ads, cool, you can do them. Adrian, who does my Facebook ads, like she loves it, and I don't understand. It doesn't make it doesn't make any sense to me, but she loves it.
Yeah, I've got a Facebook ad guy, and it's like, yeah. By the way,
Yeah, she talks to me, and I'm like, okay, I don't understand, but you're really good at this, so.
yeah. We've had over 10 comments apparently on Facebook Live, and they haven't been coming up on my. And I was curious, why is no one talking? And this is what I was worried about. But people have been watching. So what we might do, guys, because I can't see those comments on my phone, we might, when we get off, we'll go on the group and just see if there's any questions we didn't answer as I've been asking. Because I was just curious. I go, oh, it's pretty quiet. Everyone must be really, really enthralled the way I am. And just this conversation has 10 comments so far, but I can't see those comments, Russ. So,
Do you want me to see if I can see them?
yeah, maybe jump in the group and see if you can see them where the live stream's sort of happening. Um,
Yeah.
and Francis, while you're checking that, Francis says, can you please advise when the next webinar is, as it's currently on Sunday his time? So when is the next one? Is the link that you shared the evergreen? So that one would be able to be.
It's evergreen. Yeah. So you should see on that webinar a countdown timer where it'll tell you when the next webinar is. I'm not sure what the conversion is to Australia time, but
Yeah. Yeah. So Francis, it's evergreen. So if they do register, do they have to attend it, or do they send a recording, or what happens?
they should definitely attend.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that one is happening all of the time. So right now in America it's Sunday, so which means it will. Can they, like, when you go? Is it just a few minutes away, or how does it?
It should be just a few minutes away, unless, like, if they go right now because it's daytime United States time, they should be able to just
Yeah.
go right now and watch it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, and this is really
Natasa, what's the name of the group?
Ultimate Business Support.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I can't see them. I'll see if I can see anything on my computer. Just to, we can answer them at least, because I don't know if it's been just highs or okay. Thanks for the link.
Yeah, it looks like it's mostly
Heaps.
people saying hello, people saying good morning. I'm just looking to see if there's questions, but
Yeah, okay. All I can see is 4 here. Okay. Awesome.
people talking about how much they love you.
Okay. Thank you. Right. Well, it's one of my clients, Chris Dennis, maybe done your course. She says Russ's program is fantastic, heaps of resources.
Oh,
Maybe.
fantastic. Who
She's
did you say it was? I didn't hear the name. Who did you say it was?
Chris Dennis.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Yeah, she's one of my authors. She wrote a book with me like a year and a bit ago, and she's just smashing it. Yeah,
Oh, awesome. That's fantastic.
yeah, love it. Oh,
Thank you, Kate.
wonderful. Well, I think I've asked everything I wanted to ask. I think this has been super valuable for me, and I think it has been for others. And I definitely believe you guys should jump on that webinar and all that sort of stuff. And this is something that I'm gonna definitely think about how I can fit it into my life with over 100
Sure, yeah.
speaking gigs to come. But thank you for taking our time on your Sunday. I know when we do the Monday mornings, it's always Sunday in the US, and
Yeah.
it's been really valuable, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you and meeting you, and I can't wait to come over there in May to do my stuff and check out what this USA is. Never stepped a foot in there, So
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. You gotta let me know when you're here. You're
yeah,
gonna love it.
yeah, I'll let you know. We're just gonna get through the national tour of Australia, and then my focus is on the US for May and June. So can't wait. So thank you so much. I will convert this recording and obviously post it up so people can see it afterwards. We had an awesome audience of about 40, 45 at one stage. So people on both platforms watching and listening. And yeah, so have an awesome evening. Great week next week. And we'll stay in touch anyway.
All right, Natasa.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.